Hey everyone. So just to start things off, this week we're working on our historical process, and we do have 2 weeks to complete it. So this week and next week. If you want to finish it up by this week, that's fine, because next week our assignment is going to be to get the different categories of our images in folders and make sure that they're edited. So that's not it's not a shooting assignment. It is, just organizing your files. So there's information about that on our assignment calendar, and then I'll be sharing more this weekend. But today is all about personal choice. And we're going to start off with Holly, just alphabetically. She's first. Remember that this week was about your final personal choice. So it was 20 to 30 images. I needed you to have 10 images, 10 singles that were your best work. And I wanted to see your notes about this week and also about the feedback video. So they should be specific because we're getting into serious stuff here. We're ready to work on our website. That'll be right after Thanksgiving. All right, so let's take a look at Holly's notes. Oh, you know what I did? Hold on. Okay, so Holly is working on portraits. She's got a different model, so she talked Trip into doing it this week. I think it's so funny that most people hate to have their picture taken. And I can tell that you got him into it, and you'll probably treasure these pictures. I can just imagine that you're going to print some out, or at least one, and hang on the wall, or, send to his parents. Okay, so when the sun was out, yes, angling your camera better. So you're really, your viewfinder or your LCD screen, whatever you use when you're framing a shot, it's just think of it as framing the image. So whatever in that frame, you have to kind of move it around to get your best composition. And, you want your background to be straight. You want things to be lined up. Verticals and horizontals are things that we always watch out for. And I understand, that you want to have fun and, make it at a cool angle. But when we're trying to be more professional, we want things to be straight. And I love that you say that an object in the picture I thought, actually at first I thought you were talking about how your model last week, your nephew had something coming out of his head, an antenna. So I thought you were talking about that. Oh my goodness, that is so funny, Holly. His zipper was undone. He can't watch this video because he will be so upset. Yeah, the really bright pictures, when you have an overexposure, it's really hard to undo that. All right, and I like that beautiful light. Most photography teachers will tell you that is like, it's an aberration. It's not welcome. But I kind of tend to love it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open up your contact sheet, and let's take a look at that close up. It's like 20 or 30 Trips here. And I love that I'm getting to meet Trip, because I've heard about him. I think this image is really nice. Nice 3/4 view. Let's see. Let me open it up a little bit bigger. Maybe it's a little blurry, but I think that this is a nice composition. I would be careful about cutting things off, like, top of his head. Wait a minute, do we have one? No, we don't. And, his hands, things like that. But I still think this is lovely. I love the lighting in the background. This is a very nice picture. And, I mean, also nice, but, we've got to make sure that we get at least half of him in the picture. So this is a better crop. I like that we can see almost all of his hands. We can see the top of his head. So that looks a little more successful as far as that goes. And you backed it up a little bit. Notice that your horizon line is straight. And I like seeing just that part of the bench. So I really like this one. Yeah, really cute. And then here's what we were talking about, that, some photography teachers think that that's like an intrusion and you didn't capture the light correctly. But I don't know if it's lack of experience or if it's just personal preference. I really enjoy it. It's almost like something else in the image. That light coming, it must be coming through the trees, or it's interacting with your lens. And I think that's kind of delightful. And same here. Although I don't think this is the most flattering angle, perhaps in this area. Again, Trip should not be watching. And I mean, very cute. I like that one a lot. This one's a little too closely cropped. So we're getting a lot of similar expressions. And then we get this really, really harsh light, which is not his friend. It's really not anyone's friend. He's like kind of blinded by the light, really. So I know that you're thinking of your model and trying to make it more comfortable, but yeah, you got to be careful about all of that light. Oh, serious one. I love this dirt road, though. That's pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of overexposure here. We've got, top of his head cut off. I forget what that's called. There's a term for cutting off parts of people in a portrait. And I can't remember what it is, but I never thought about it until I learned about it, and now I just can't unsee those things. So I kind of really love this weathered wood behind him. I think that's fantastic. That one is so nice and straight. And that one's nicely done as well. So this is a really good idea. And it looks like he's having fun, but we can't see his eyes. So, I mean, I could see how this could be a little series, a little portrait series, with him in different expressions. Yeah, that one's really cute. Looks like we've got one more row. Oh, two more. So yeah, we have some little issues with a few of those there. This is interesting to me, how the dark spots on the wood kind of make him look like he's got a mullet. I think that's a funny picture. If you point that out to him, he might like that. I mean, maybe, maybe not. All right, there's our last row. Okay, so when you're selecting your best here, Holly, I would make sure that, you're not cutting anything off that's important, like top of the head. Make sure that your angles are straight. And, we want to see his eyes open. But this looks like it was a really fun photo shoot. My favorites are, these ones at the top. That beautiful light in the background. Okay, so nice contact sheet. And then we saw her notes. Now let's look at her pics. Her best of. Agreed. Very nice. And then I'm going to make this a little smaller. So, no, that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to move down. Yes, very flattering. I wonder if he had a hand in that choice. Because I agree with it. Yeah, that's really cool. This is a nice one, nice choice. And yes, I agree with that. That is just so cute that he's laughing, but, it could work well in a series. Like I said, with different expressions. This one as well. This one needs to be straightened, but I like the framing of it. And then there's our mullet shot. So that was really nicely done, Holly. I think you did a great job. Alright, now we're going to go back to the next candidate. Let's see if we can figure this out. Hold on one second. Okay, so here are Ivy's notes. Higher quality photos. I remember you did the beach photos last week. And you're trying to line up your photos to the same size, okay? That's a good idea. That's aspect ratio. You know what? I think I must have... Oh, okay. There's part 2. Okay, so we've got the fair and seasonal pictures. Okay, so what I see this week, last week you were doing landscapes, and that was to be your personal choice. This week we have event photos and portraits. So for your personal choice, you're going to have to choose one of those, and I'll give you some feedback. I don't see your contact sheet again, Ivy, so if you want to resubmit with that, it always improves your score. Okay, here is, I think this is Jake, if I remember correctly. And I love this picture. Love, love, love. It's pretty great. I like the shadow on his face. I like the framing. I like his outfit. I like how there's a cloud over his head. It's like we're getting these kind of cool things happening. And I don't know if that was intentional or, just kind of lucky shot kind of thing. That happens to me too. This one we can see more of his face, but he's a little backlit. Do you see what I mean? There's light all around him, but not on his face so much. So we'd have to choose one of those. I love that you guys are in the cotton fields. That's so great. This is my favorite. That is an awesome picture. I love everything about it. I love the 3/4 view, very flattering light. I love the color scheme, you know, he's wearing, and how well it goes with the background. It's just, you know, plaid is country, you know what I mean? And this feels country to me. Okay, now is that? It's very similar. Looks like maybe a slightly different expression. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like the first one better. This feels a little bit like an awkward moment. He looks like a little bit uncomfortable. And then here we have the fair pictures. Okay. So this is your event photography, and you're going to have to choose between, I mean, the first round you could have as your portraits. Are you also going to include event photography? You know, you've got to make those decisions. This, to me, this first image looks like, you know, someone created this. It's almost like a work of art. Somebody placed all these things here, and now you're showing us what you saw. So this is, you know, it's okay for event photography, you know, to show what was there, but other than that, I don't think it's really special. You know, it's more like somebody else's work. You're showing us somebody else's idea. This I really like. I think that it's symmetric, you know, it's balanced, beautiful color, nice contrast. This to me, you know, says, okay, here we are, we're at the fair. And this is your viewpoint. So that's the difference. Do you see what I'm saying, Ivy? This is like something that someone else constructed and you just showed us it. Showed us, oh, look at that. This you framed in your own way. So that's very different. This is like adorable. I love these guys. And, you know, I love that your shallow depth of field, how the lights at the fair look so interesting, you know, that bokeh. But the focus is on these guys having fun, and I think this is a great event picture. This one I like as well. That looks like that's maybe your view from the Ferris wheel. I would turn this and straighten it if you're going to use that for event photography. But yes, I do like it. This one looks like, okay, so you're showing us one of the games. I'm a little bit on the fence with this because, you know, somebody created this. You're sharing it with us and you're showing what you saw. So on one hand, it's someone else's idea, but yet it could still work for event photography. And looks like that's it for Ivy. Alright, we're going to go to our next victim. So here we've got Melissa's contact sheet, and Melissa, you're off on a, you know, you're taking off on this rocket ship towards stardom. I am so impressed this week. I get that luxury of the past, you know. You have to think of what life was like, you know, in the 1700s. You might have heard how children at Christmas time got an orange in their stocking. And they were so thrilled to have that orange because it was just so rare to have that wonderful fruit. And here what you're showing us is just that decadence of the past where, you know, look at these delicious fruits. It's as beautiful as a painting. It really is. Okay, so let's look closely at Melissa's. By the way, excuse me. By the way, oh wait, let me open it in Photoshop. I just saw a job opportunity at my former school, which was SCAD, for product photography. And I honestly think that Melissa could handle it. I really do. Melissa, I don't want you to let this go. I mean, I know you don't have aspirations to be professional, but the truth is, you could. You could take this portfolio of work, go out and talk to businesses, maybe it's, someone who works at a farmer's market and sells fruit, and they want to advertise. Maybe it's a restaurant where you want to show intimate lighting on the food. It's just really rich and wonderful. Okay, so this is gorgeous. This one I like even better. I think that one's similar. And I think that's similar to the second one, but incredibly beautiful. And I love this, little pyramid of oranges. This one I really like that you can see the color of the background. It just kind of brings the whole image together, and gives it that feeling of luxury. In the pomegranate photos, the background is very dark, so we don't get to see that, that luxe blue. It feels like velvet to me. This is also just beautiful. I mean, the placement, you're so good at placement. And of course the photography. So that's just incredible. Beautiful work. And I only happen upon a student like this very seldom. But I just feel like you really got this. I mean, look at the light coming through those little, they're the seeds, but they're gorgeously lit up. And this is so adorable. I think that's really cute. And, here we've got, this one's almost like an oddity compared to that perfect little clementine, I think is what it is. And then, just an arrangement of fruits. And that natural lighting, I mean, so smart. Love it. Love, love, love. Beautiful. So these are like, I hate to brag on you too much, but those pomegranates, that's like award-winning. You need to start entering some contests. And I would, like this, is an incredible composition, beautifully lit. Sorry, I don't mean to brag on you too much, everyone else. But this too, oh, those reds, that light, outstanding. I know, I can't help it. My husband's like, calm down. I just, sorry. Okay, so really exceptional Melissa. And here we've got Sydney. Sydney is doing another event, and this is from her contact sheet. And I guess this is a fishing tournament. Never been to such a thing. And these are all the prizes. That's kind of cool. You can see that as part of the story. And oh, it must have been a cool day. You can tell from the sky. This is interesting in the parking lot. I can't quite tell what's going on here. It looks like the grass is growing up in between the cracks in the asphalt. So that's pretty interesting. And then we can see the vehicles that are here. This is my first favorite. I love, you know, the fall trees. I love how straight it is. We're out on the water. We've got a little close-up here of the, you know, the grass that's growing on the side of the lake. And I really like that one. This would make a great intro shot for me to this event. And then, I mean, I could see captions for these. This one's a little bit, could use a little bit of straightening. But, you know, this could be where the fishermen, the contest, what do you call them? The people in the contest are checking in. Let's go back. And then this one looks a little similar to one that was above. This one I really like. I think it's nice and straight. I can even get a sense of the personalities of the people who are coming into the contest. I like the sky. I like your framing. That one's very good. This one I would first of all want to straighten that pole. And I'm not sure what's happening here, so this one I would need a caption. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, this one, I mean, I love this woman. She is adorable. But the picture is just, I think you were too close to her, because we've got some lens distortion here. And so I am going to add to this video a little help for lens distortion that I can show you. And I think you know what I mean. I mean, this part of her body seems almost normal, and then her legs look really tiny. So I think I would, I don't know. I mean, she's so cute. Yeah, it's just the distortion bothers me. I like the image, but I tried to straighten it out for you, and I think it's just too intense. So I like this one too. I like being on the boat. And this one is really great. I really like seeing close up and personal what's happening to this contestant, and you know, his process, I guess you would call it. Until I'm not a fisherman. I used to go fishing though with my pap when I was little. This one is great. Great event shot there. And I like this one as well. This is great. I love it. I love his smile. You know, he's holding up the prize. We really get a sense of, you know, what it's like to be successful in a fishing tournament. And I guess this is going home, but I love the colors. That would be a nice like ending shot. This is also great. I mean, I guess he's the superstar here because he is just catching them left and right. But love that image. That could be in the newspaper if we still had newspapers. And I like this one too. I just like the way it's framed. I find this orange line to be interesting. Part of the composition. That one's okay. Yeah, I think that I would say this one is the better of those two. I wonder what this is. Is that like a timer? Do they have like a certain amount of time? But all part of the story. Okay, I think that Sydney did a great job with her event photography. And let's go ahead and see what her picks are. Okay, so I've read this. It's about a fishing tournament. And this is one that you didn't have to work, so great coincidence. Oh, you were shivering. Yep, we gotta suffer sometimes to get those shots. I wouldn't say that all pictures are good pictures. I could never say that. But many pictures are good pictures that maybe you didn't realize they were. If they need a little editing. I totally agree with that part of the statement. Get closer to the object sometimes, but not too close. I agree with that. So for event photography, you kind of want to have a range of close-ups, you know, stepping back and then from a distance so that you can see the whole event. And I think you did a wonderful job with this event. And colorful lighting, I think what you mean is, you know, warm lighting or cool lighting. Yeah, because that was all about your Halloween party. Okay, guys. Oh, wait a minute. You gotta see her pics close up. This one, I think, like I said, I would need a caption. Love that one. Really like that one. You know, it's weird. This one, I don't think I minded as much at this angle without seeing her legs being so tiny. I think if you cropped it to be maybe horizontal, then we could probably fix it. And that one's good. That's good. Great. Nice. All right. Okay, everybody. I hope you found this helpful. I do want to do a really quick demonstration of correcting lens distortion. Okay, so let's hold on one second. Okay, so here's your lens distortion advice. And I just pulled this picture off the internet. But if you have a raw photo, you're going to go straight to Camera Raw. And Camera Raw has the same settings as in Photoshop. So let me see if I can move this up a little bit. Hold on one second. Okay, so I hope that you can see this. So what we need to do is go up to Filter, and that's if this is a JPEG or not a RAW file, and go to Camera Raw Filter. And then I'm sure some of this is going to be cut off, so let's make it a little smaller. And what you're going to do is go to your optics. So these are just options in Camera Raw. You'll find them in this little tab right here. And what you want to do is correct the distortion. So you can move this little slider until things start to look straight, and you can use that grid to help guide you. Dun, da, da, da. And then all we need to do is OK and crop the image. So that is just super easy. Get rid of your lens distortion kind of stuff, and then you just crop off the areas that didn't make it into the cut. And that's all there is to it. Okay guys, I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.